good, YouTube? It's your boy Quarantino Da GAWD coming at you live and direct. And today we have a very special topic, nigga. So y'all already know what it is. Let's get right into it. If you guys watched the draft last night, and I'm recording this on April 24th, 2020, and it was a very special draft, not only because it's basically downtime for sports in general, not just football. But, it's just a very different time period that we are in. We are seeing, a different dichotomy going on when it comes to the NFL, the draft, and how they're going to handle playing games further on and things of that nature. You know, they couldn't have a huge gathering at the actual facility that they do the draft, so motherfuckers couldn't get their shit handed to them or whatever. And motherfuckers was like watching it online and waiting for their name to get called, shit like that. So it was just very interesting to see because there were two particular guys who really stood out. And, one of these guys I'm really close with, not really close with, but, we had a working relationship. You know what I'm saying? He the homie and shit like that. So first off, I want to get on, I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb and his NFL draft experience. Now, CeeDee Lamb he's an Oklahoma receiver, and he was very good. He was going ham in this season. Let's just we'll just look at some of his stats real quick. Just so y'all know what type of guy he is, what type of prospect he is. So here we go, pulling up the stats as we speak. Here we go. So from ESPN.com, let's see, CeeDee Lamb. Sorry, guys. Taking a little bit because these results are retarded. But anyways, yes. So his freshman year, he had 46 receptions with 807 yards. He averaged 17.5 yards a catch. Sophomore year, he had 65 receptions with 1,158 yards. And his junior year, he had 62 receptions with 1,327 yards. So he's a guy who was highly looked at as far as a draft prospect. He did really well in the draft, and he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, 6'2", 189 pounds. He's a big guy, and, he's going to attract a lot of the ladies. You know what I'm saying? And what we saw in his particular draft videos, if you will, when they were at home, he was, sitting around family. But what stood out was his girlfriend, or whatever you call it, girlfriend, slam piece, whatever we call it, because I don't really want to attribute a woman to another man if I don't know for sure that that's his girl and he's claiming her. He he had her there, so it must be his girlfriend. He had her at the little draft party that their family set up for him, so it must be his girlfriend. But anyways, this woman was rumored to have been with Trae Young in the past. Not rumored, she actually was with him. There's pictures and shit like that. But anyways, everybody was looking at how when he had two phones, for one, like Kevin Gates. He had two phones. Yeah, so he had two phones. And, he's looking at one, and his girlfriend, Trae Young's former girlfriend, basically tries and grabs the other phone. I guess his burner phone, maybe his personal phone or whatever. One for business, one for personal, one for social media, one for texting. I don't know how these niggas separated. But anyways, his girl tried to grab the phone and he snatches it real quick. Real quick. Real fucking quick, nigga. So we seen that. And I just want to make a point of it that there's nothing wrong with women having a type, right? You know, some girls like fat dudes. Some girls like really tall dudes. Some girls like short dudes. Some girls like really swole dudes. Some girls like skinny dudes, whatever. But when you see a woman like this who has attached herself to multiple superstars, and yes, CeeDee Lamb is a superstar, or at least he will be when he goes to the Cowboys. We see the real intentions behind why they look after these athletes. It's not, guys, it's, you know, it definitely has something to do with their physical stature and, you know, their abilities and shit like that. But you never heard a woman say, oh, yeah, I love him so much because he's just so good at catching footballs. Like when he does that one arm thing with the jug machine, and the jug machine's on high power and he's just catching them with like 3 fingertips. Oh, my God, it's so attractive. Like, no, that's not what they're really looking for. They're looking for that bag, my nigga. And you can see it in her eyes, one, for the fact that she was with Trae Young before. And to me, you know, he graduated when he was a junior in college, or he was drafted when he was a junior in college. So I'm not sure if he graduated or not. But see, he was a junior in college, and Shorty was with Trae Young. So it seems like, I don't know her age, but this might be an older woman kind of trying to latch on to a young man's success. I mean, he can't be over 21. I mean, you know, if he graduated his junior year, he spent 3 years in college. He's probably 21 years old. This woman, we don't know how old she is. Maybe 20. She looks 23, 24. She looked like she done been ran through. She looks tired. You know, you can tell when these bitches done got piped down, because they just look tired. Even the makeup can't cover up the fatigue in their life. You feel me? So she looks tired. She looks on the she looks like she's about to turn on the other end of 25. And, you know, she looks like in her younger 20s, she was at the club partying, turning up and drinking a lot, and, you know, just trying to find the best fit, the best athlete. And I don't know how the fuck she got to Oklahoma. Maybe she lives there or whatever, how they ended up together. But obviously he's keeping her around, and if that's what he wants to do, yeah, cool. We already know that he's smashing bitches on the side, you know, i.e. the veracity that he used to grab that phone away from her. You know, he straight snatched it from Shorty. I mean, it was like, bitch, what the hell is you doing type of snatch. So, and she was butthurt, upset. But, you know, it didn't really look like she was celebrating his success. And I just feel a certain type of way because, you know, this is the dilemma that we face. See, on Twitter, and I want to urge you guys to realize that Twitter is not real life. What these bitches say on Twitter is not how they live their life. They just be popping smoke. No pun intended. So, but anyways, on Twitter, you know, a whole bunch of women are fussing about, oh, these black athletes are with white girls or non-black women and this, that, and the third. And yeah, we see that a lot. We see that a lot. And there are multiple factors as to why this is happening. For one, a lot of black women shit on PWIs, right? Publicly white institutions. Y'all shit on PWIs, but the fucking HBCUs that y'all go to are owned and named by white people. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're basically making a decision based off of funding when you really break it down, because a lot of these HBCUs are owned by white people. So you could consider them, to morph into a PWI. And we've seen at Howard, I think last year they had an enrollment of more white people than they had ever had. And, there were some videos online of, white people walking around on Howard campus with the Make America Great hats, and motherfuckers was getting mad at them, shit like that. Look, there is a big gripe that black women have with black men dating outside of their race. And I'm just gonna tell you this right here, my lovely queens, my lovely ladies. For one, your gripe with your gripe and your animosity toward the PWIs. So we all know that that college education, the value of a college education has diminished all around the board. PWIs or HBCUs, all of them have diminished the education level, and the intensity and the vigor that you would use to study, or let's see, I can't even find the word right now, but the difficulty levels have diminished all around the board because these colleges are state funded, and the price has gone up, but the education levels hasn't really gone up, and motherfuckers is just like grabbing majors that don't make sense. So, but the thing is, when you compare a PWI to an HBCU, and it's sad because the funding is just not the same. The funding's not on par. But when you see these HBCUs, a lot of them are run down. Their dorm rooms don't have air conditioning. Like, my sister went to Spelman, and another one of my sisters went to Clark Atlanta. And it's in the heart of Atlanta, basically in the fucking hood. Their dorms are in the hood. And they didn't have any air conditioning in their dorms. They were all advised to buy fans. And, I went to the University of Georgia. I played football at University of Georgia. But my first year, I was staying in the college dorms. I was staying in the high rises. And even though the high rises were not the most sanitary as far as the bathroom goes, and the dorms were pretty small, I stayed in Creswell, the security was on point. When you went up to when you went to enter the building, there was an auditorium area, and you would have to have your UGA ID. And if you wanted to get a guest in, you could only bring one or two guests in. The security was on point. There were people at the desk at all hours of the night, 24/7. When you got up to the floors and you got into your room, it was air conditioning, and it would get pretty cold in that bitch. I had a roommate, and he loved it cold, and I couldn't stand that shit. But the facilities are just better. So you can't blame a guy, especially a guy who is an athlete who's trying to get his name out there, for going to a PWI, because God, that's really the only way you can get those big looks when it comes to professional sports. You must be at a larger school. Now, there are some guys who slip through the cracks and who work extremely hard, but you have to stand out. You have to be a substantial standout when it comes to things like that. If you want to make a name for yourself in college sports without being at a D1 facility. So that's a factor. And then when we look at what we have to choose from at these PWIs, see, there are not a lot of black women at PWIs, even though, black women are graduating college at a higher rate than black men and all this other shit, all the shit that they feed into you. A lot of times, the fact of the matter is, and this is going to hurt some feelings, because granted, there are some bad, beautiful black women on the PWI campuses. You can't deny that. But they're few and far between, right? Versus your options, which is like 60% white, hella sorority chicks, fine ass bitches all over campus. All of them want to fuck athletes. It's really hard to choose between one or the other. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're just out here saying, oh, fuck black women. Like, no, for one, there are definitely certain things that we want to see out of black women. We want to see natural hair, right? We want to see natural skin, right? We want our women to embrace the beauty that that they tell us to embrace in ourselves. Oh, black is beautiful, this, that, and the third. But you got on all types of makeup that's making your skin color 2 or 3 shades lighter. See, black guys don't find that attractive. We don't find the mad makeup shit and to cover certain flaws attractive. We like natural women. We don't like weaves. They smell funny. They smell burnt. A lot of black men, we don't like perms. We love your natural curly hair. But see, that's not what we're getting at the PWIs. That's not what we're getting at the D1 facilities. That's not what we're getting. So we have to choose from the most natural thing. And a lot of the times, these white women come more natural than the black women come. Even though a lot of black women are saying, oh, all natural, this, that, and the third. But no, baby, like you have a wig on, and under the wig, you got like a little toupee thing going on, like trying to do the Rihanna shit where you cut your fades and shit. Look, I'm gonna just say this. Fades are for men. Uptown fades, temp fades, all the way bald fades, sideburn fades. This is for men. And as soon as the black women start realizing this and start really growing their hair and start really trying to work on actually giving us that natural look, we're not going to gravitate toward that. Even though, we see that CD Lamb is with a black woman and she definitely had a hair weave in. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% sure, and I don't want to throw salt in the brother's game, because I want him to flourish. But I'm pretty sure he's fucking a lot of bitches on the side, and they're probably not all black. I'm not saying he ain't fucking no black bitches, but he's probably fucking a lot of white bitches too. So for y'all to come at these brothers, for y'all to come at these athletes for reasons that don't suit you, right? Because a lot of times y'all will get mad that a brother is going to a white chick when she was nicer to them. It's like in 2020, niggas are not trying to go back and forth. We're not trying to argue. We're really actually trying to find someone who is nice. And I'm pretty sure, hopefully CD Lamb does not marry this woman, because it would be a huge mistake, because she has already shown her true color. She has fucked with Trae Young. And I'm not saying that we should judge her based off of fucking with Trae Young, but we can kind of understand her MO, and her motive behind fucking with athletes. Not just because she thinks they're hot because they're tall and have nice bodies and chiseled and shit like that. No, it's for that bag. So I think that we need to wake up and realize what the fuck is going on. And I think that black women need to be a lot less judgmental when brothers elect to date outside of their race. Because at the end of the day, if you don't make yourself available to black men, meaning when we approach you, you act all stuck up and shit. Like, a lot of the black women act more stuck up than the white woman when you approach them. Like, at least when you approach the white woman, they'll give you a smile and say, oh, no, I'm not interested, shit like that, if they're not interested. But a lot of the black women, why are you talking to me? Like, when I was really, really deep into the shit, like, I would approach basically any fine girl who I felt like I could fuck. And a lot of the times when I would approach black women, although I have smashed a lot of black women, a lot of the times when I would approach them, there would be an instant barrier and there would be an instant wall. I remember one time I approached this beautiful lady outside of the club one day, and it was so crazy because everybody was looking at her in the club. Nobody really approached her. I mean, obviously she was twerking and shit like that, and to me, it's a turn off to see a bitch twerk in the club. But, you know, I'm not going to judge her off of that because I know how these hoes get down. Rich nigga, a figure, that's my type, da-da-da-da-da-da, all night, all the shit. You know, I'm not really going to judge that because when she's with me, I can kind of, you know, knock those behaviors out. But what happened was I approached her and immediately, for one, she was with, see, this is another thing, but let me tell the story. One, she was with a gay dude. And a lot of these black women, they will attach a gay dude to their hip to warrant off black men because we are perceived as homophobic. So they will have a gay dude near them as a gay best friend, quote unquote, and he will kind of do a lot of the talking for them. But I know how to evade those circumstances. So I approached her, and then, you know, immediately the gay dude started talking like, honey, you just gonna let him? I think he talking to you like, is this something that you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's basically gauging if she thinks I'm attractive. So she lets me in, you know, he tells me, you know, come on type shit, like as if I was listening to him. But anyways, I approach her, and immediately she goes off the list. Well, I don't fuck. I'm celibate. Like, I'm about to get my PhD in Pennsylvania, so I'm finna move, and this, that, and the third. And, you know, I got this going on for myself. I just graduated. I'm like, whoa, bitch. Like, for one, I graduated way before you. I'm pretty sure I'm further along in my life. But you're literally listing out things to me that, in my opinion, I give no fucks about. Are you feminine? Are you cute? Are you nice? Can you bring some value to my life? That's the only thing I'm thinking about when I'm speaking to a woman. I don't care about your degrees. I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't care if you're a lawyer, a PhD, a doctor. That doesn't get my dick hard. Do you understand? So I think a lot of black women need to understand where we're coming from in this situation. Now, let's move on to my brother, Isaiah Wilson. And I will tread lightly because this is a guy that I actually know personally. And, you know, we played football together. So, and I congratulate the brother for all his success. But the thing is, we all saw the clip where when he got his name called, that glorious moment, that beautiful moment when he got his name called. And by the way, I congratulated him. When he got his name called, his girlfriend, the white chick, she was hugged up on him, you know, leaned her head in just right at the angle where her face was in the camera. Now, he may not have noticed this, and she may have done this subconsciously. Honestly, I really think she did it on purpose, but she might have done it subconsciously. But immediately his mother came into defense, hawk mode. She yanked Shorty up, and Shorty was not trying to have it at first. Like, Shorty, like, the mother grabbed her arm and Shorty kind of yanked back. And that's one thing that you do not do with a black mother. I know from experience, you never yank away from your parents. And if you're dating her son, you are her child. And that's just how it is in the black community. So if I grab you by the arm, honey, you gonna get your ass up. So she grabbed her by the arm, yanked away. So mother put two hands on her. Mama put two hands on her and got her ass up out the spot. And I really understand why she did that, because she didn't want this woman to steal the spotlight. She didn't want this woman to make the moment about her. This is about Isaiah Wilson. This is about all the hard work that he put in. This is about all of the long nights that he spent studying the playbook, getting these schemes in so that he could block for running backs and quarterbacks in the most effective way. This is not about the woman that he is courting at the moment, because we don't know how long she's going to be around. And this is something that the mother has taken into account. So when you put all of these things together, you know, for one, I will say that, yes, the thing is, black women do have an argument here when it comes to black men dating white women when they're like athletes or whatever, because we see it time and time again. But guys, guess what? Guess what? A lot of these times, and these women will not tell you this, but if a guy like Isaiah Wilson approach him, and look, I love the brother, but he's a big guy, you know, and, you know, he's got a wide frame. He's not like skinny, chiseled type guy. He's a big offensive lineman guy who moves shit, who pushes shit, and, you know, who demands that physical space. You know, he's very physically demanding. So a lot of black women are shutting guys like this down because, oh, he's too fat. Even though he's like a tall guy and shit like that, you know, he doesn't have the cut up abs that these women are looking for. You see? And they won't tell you this, right? See, the black women, they won't tell you that a lot of guys, a lot of black men, their first preference is black women. But when we approach you, you bring all that salt and all that hostility, you see? And men in general just don't want to deal with that shit. It's not about, oh, I'm too intimidating. No, bitch, you're just a bitch. You're mean as fuck. You're you're insufferable. Like, we can't go through one day without you trying to argue. Like, that's just something that we're not into. And, you know, we'll fuck you. Like, sexual attraction is on its highest level between us and black women. Trust me. We love ourselves some black women physically, but the mentality that comes with a lot of you women, it turns a lot of guys off, especially guys who are athletes, who are, you know, who have been, for one, these guys they've overcome a lot of adversity, but also on the other side of the coin, they have been awarded a lifestyle that most men could only dream of. They have been awarded a lifestyle where, you know, their coaches might get on their ass, but at the end of the day, they are told that they are 5-star athletes, one of the greatest, one of the most athletic guys. You know what I'm saying? And it reflects on the work that they put in and the stock of their draft pick. So when you're dealing with a guy like that, you need to be his anchor. You need to be holding him down, and not holding him down as in bringing him to a lower plane, but you need to be a foundation for him. You need to be encouraging for him. And if you're not a person who does that, if you're not a person who can encourage their man, if you're not a person who can reinforce the things that he has been told all of his life when it comes to his athletic ability and his prowess and his greatness, you know, then he's not going to be checking for you. See, men want a woman who is down for them, not a woman who challenges them. You see, because these guys are already being challenged on the field and off the field, academically, physically. Like, professional sports is a tiring job. I don't give a fuck what you say. College sports, it was fucking tiring. We're waking up at 6 a.m. every morning, you know? And all we want to come home to is someone who is loving, who's soft, and who's going to give us that encouragement, not tell us what we've done wrong today. And I know this isn't all black women, and I know that a lot of white women in other cultures can nag as well. But the thing is, when it comes to the dynamic of black man, white woman, or black man, any other woman, they don't challenge us as much. You see, they don't try and they don't try and emasculate us. They don't try and make a scene with us because they know that we are overall physically domineering. And this is something that is probably subconscious. But the thing is, black women are used to challenging black men all the time. And other races of women are not. Like a lot of bitches who date interracially are walking on eggshells because they have been conditioned by the media to say, oh, black men blow up when they get mad. Black men do this when they get mad. Black men do this when they get mad. And the thing about black women is they don't give a fuck. They want you to blow up. They want you to blow up so they can call the police and your ass get locked up. Now, this isn't all black women, of course, but another example, my brother Jeremiah Holloman, he was dealing with this one chick and she pushed his buttons. I don't give a fuck if he cheating on her. I don't give a fuck. She hit him and he hit her back allegedly. And he lost his scholarship. He was no longer on the team. This is a guy I played with, very talented. And we don't know if he'll get another chance at the sport that he loves. But he was dealing with a woman who was combative. You see? Who didn't know when to walk away. If you got cheated on, baby, walk away. Walk away if it's that big of a problem. But you know, even after that situation, I'm still pretty sure that he was fucking her. And I know him and I know the lady. So, guys, at the end of the day, we just have to realize our value. We have to realize that what we're willing to put up with and what we're not willing to put up with, because a lot of women have these high ass standards, and men, we need to raise our standards too when it comes to personality. If you're already fucking bad bitches, cool, but we need to raise our standards when it comes to personality. You see? I really hope we can get it through our heads, because there is something to it when people see all these athletes with women who are not of the same race, because they treat us different than women in our own race. And I am saying this as a black man, and I love black women. I've dated plenty of black women. I've had sex with plenty of black women. But there's something that they do that a lot of other cultures do not do. And for me, I like sexy, but I also like a good mental. I also like a feminine woman. And unless you're willing to fully play that role of a woman when it comes to, especially a guy who is an athlete who's making millions of dollars, you really have to play that role of being a woman, because he really does not need you for shit. He can get pussy at any moment. He's got bread, so he's not stressing over that. Like, are you bringing something else to the table? Are you bringing that real femininity to the table? A lot of women don't want to be with men because they're saying, oh, these men want us to be traditional women, and I'm a career woman and this, and okay, be a career woman. But if you're not making time for your man, he's going to wander off, especially when he's a guy of means, when he got bread like that. It's just the natural order of things. And guys like that, they want a woman that stays at home, believe it or not. They want a woman who is going to raise their children, believe it or not. They want a woman who they can come home from practice and they can get a nice, good home-cooked meal. A woman who can go to the players' wives' meetings and get along with everybody and not be bitchy and not bring back beef. That's what we want. We don't want no Love and Hip Hop Atlanta bitches. We don't want no fucking Love and Hip Hop New York shit. We're tired of that shit. We don't want no Black Ink Crew hoes. Like, and this is the type of energy that a lot of black women are bringing to the table. So I think that it is time for black women to just check themselves at the door in order to get back in the good graces of these high earning brothers. Because, you know, regular brothers, they're still going for black women. But the thing is, these black women, they want the athletes. They want the high earning brothers. They want the rappers and all that shit. But the thing is, they're not coming correct. So I think that there's some work that needs to be done on both sides, but definitely there's a lot more work that needs to be done on the females' side, because a lot of times these brothers are already bringing what they bring to the table. They're bringing the 6-footness, they're bringing the athleticism, they're bringing the strength, you know, they're bringing the bread when it comes to these athletes. So I just believe that if you want to be a part of a man's life who is a high earner and who has built something for himself and got it out the mud for real, you need to play that traditional role. Otherwise, it ain't going to be shit. I promise you that. So you already know what it is. Your boy Quarantino Da GAWD. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ask your relationship questions. Send them to my email and with a picture, a screenshot of the Cash App so I know it's real. Y'all niggas need to be on y'all motherfucking dang with the bullshit. It's Quarantino Da GAWD. I'm out.